Hey, what's up, people? This is Egypt, and I'm here again on the couch. We have our cast members here. We want to introduce everybody. We want to start with, I call it Political Paul, but
That's it right there, political Paul.
Political Paul.
I'm Timon West.
Sir Piazza.
And I'm Egypt again. So we were here to talk about, on the last segment, we talked about being booed up, because I was trying to flirt with my man here, but he happens to be booed up. So we want to talk about the term booed up and what does that mean?
Well, it's interesting that you mentioned you flirting with the man, because booed up doesn't necessarily mean you can't flirt.
Well,
So
but-
Right,
Why
exactly.
claim it?
Because
Right.
booed up, I mean, straight up, booed up, that means like, you just like really, it's something new that you're doing with somebody. You haven't really made it that 100% official, like you lock down, you're showing very strong interest. Now, I don't know in his case that they said that they're going to be exclusive, but booed up is like when you're dating and you really have genuine interest
So
in someone.
booed up is a new word for dating. Just like when, because on the couch before we said somebody was boo possible, meaning that there's a possibility of being somebody's boo. So being booed up means that you're just dating but not exclusive.
Well, they're on the lines of being exclusive. They're on the line of pretty much that this is going to be my dude and this is who I'm going to be with. I mean, booed up is like somebody that you're showing real interest with. I mean, that you've been.
So what's the
dating
line
for
of
a long
flirting there?
period of time.
So that means if he's booed up, can I sleep with him?
I mean, that's on this man.
That's on
Yeah.
me.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's
so
on
here,
that man in this
Either
room.
you're
Well, it only
exclusive
takes
or
one-
you're not exclusive.
No, I beg to differ because I don't believe that you should be exclusive with. I mean, well, I do agree with you, but I mean, there are some time frames that have to be involved. I don't believe
So
that.
how long have you guys been booed up? I'll say that.
We've been booed up for a little over a month, to be honest with you.
Okay.
And what I found really interesting about this conversation, I was doing a relationship workshop, and they were talking about the stages that, not that we should model our relationship after heterosexual, but there's a period. No, there's a period of getting to know. Then there's a period of, they said uncertainty, when you're not quite
Right.
sure
Okay.
that you really want to be with this person for life. And then there's a period of engagement, right? That you decided you're going to be with this person, and there's an equivalence to marriage where you actually somehow publicly make it official. And I think it's really interesting that in our community we use a lot of terms like, "Oh, I'm talking to somebody."
And, or I always say husband. That's my husband. Even when I'm dating, because I put the energy out there.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
Now,
'cause I
did
say
you say
husband
husband from the
From the
very
gate,
beginning?
from the gate, I said that's my husband. Even when I met Raul,
And
I was
see,
like,
I
you're
wouldn't.
my husband.
But let me ask
I
you this
wouldn't have
question,
said
Timon.
husband. Yeah.
Before you decided to be booed up,
Mhm.
how long were you like, or how many dates or how many times did you guys like interact with
Get to
each
know
other
each other.
before or get to know each other before you gave this person the terminology of my boo?
Yeah.
And are you
Because-
claiming boo and they're also claiming boo? That's
Yeah.
another thing. Are
We're
y'all?
both claiming boo, and we use terms like hubby and boo bear and that kind
You know,
of thing.
but- but-
And I think there's a shared set of
confusing.
there's a
No,
shared set of people.
But wait a minute. I need you to answer that question though.
Okay,
How
I'm sorry.
long before?
There were months of flirtation. There was flirtation, even before acknowledging that there was a mutual interest. There was flirtation. Then there was seeing each other, going out, that kind of thing. And then it got to a point where, okay, this is a little more serious because I don't really want to go out with other people now. Like I just kind of want to focus.
Okay.
I think, and I think booed up for me at least connotes a level of focus in that
versus-
situation, as opposed to I'm dating you, but I'm also dating a few other people.
So
Well,
that's
see-
an individual thing. It's not a group thing. It's an individual.
I think different people can mean different things.
So-
But I think it's important when we date, especially in this culture. I can say, "Oh, we're dating," and you mean I'm dating 3 other people and you. And I think when I say I'm dating you,
So that's why that
that I'm
communication
just
is key.
dating you. So I don't think we can just go by
And
terms.
see, that's to me, that's where it really begins because I really believe that we as men or people in general, and I always like to say black people because I do believe that black people think differently than white people. I believe that white people can, when you think about white people dating, when you hear that they're dating, you don't automatically assume that they're with that one person and there's no real commitment as opposed to black people. When we go out on a date with somebody, sometimes other people feel that, we went on a couple of dates, like 2 or 3 dates, and automatically I'm yours right away. And no, you're not mine right away.
So who draws the line? So you think that the term dating got us skewed when we got a hold of it?
Well, I believe that when you say dating, that you really need to understand what the word dating means. Dating means I'm dating you, I'm dating this person, unless you guys have come to a verbal commitment where you're saying that I'm dating you exclusively only. But,
Okay,
but the
now,
keyword dating, that means and if I have not told you, or we have not come to this arrangement that it's just me and you, then dating means I'm open to date Jim, Jack, Lil Wayne, whomever, like whoever want to come date.
okay, now let's flip it. Now, youngsters who date, who are not over 18, 16, 17, what is their understanding of dating? Is that going to the movies? Is that being sexual? Because at 16, what is dating? Should they have a mind law?
Well, I believe at that age, it all depends as you as a parent, how you instilled in your children what dating really means for that particular age. I don't believe that a 16-year-old should have that much interest in one person. But being as a maid, times has shown that 16-year-olds really do put that much interest into one
Yes,
person.
I was one of those 16-year-olds that definitely wanted a man dating and be married up. Like I didn't have to date several. I knew very young, but it didn't work out because the guy who I was dating thought I was too young.
How old was it?
He was 30.
Oh,
Well, you're 16. I mean, well, you should have been in jail.
But see, mind you, dating doesn't mean that we didn't be sexual. I was interested in him, and he told me
Well,
no
wait a minute, hold
because
up.
he's
I'm
following
gonna have
the
to
law.
stop you on that one right then and there because number one, you were 16 and he was 30. He knew fucking better. Excuse my
Hold on.
language.
Did he know you were 16?
No, he didn't know I was 16.
No, he
No,
knew
he
he was
was
16.
How do you know he was 16?
because as soon as he touched on his dick, got hard,
But
probably.
again, do we have sex?
No,
It doesn't matter about
It's just
that.
like,
Well,
You-
I mean, to me,
16-year-old,
I don't care
30.
what you say. 16 I'm a 30-year-old man. I'm gonna know a teenager when I'm talking to a teenager.
I disagree.
So,
Well, some
okay.
I think that there are some exceptionally mature,
And I was
looking
I saw
and
some- I saw
acting
some
16-year-olds.
You
Oh,
like
nowadays, yeah, these motherfuckers coming out built like a brick, excuse my language, couch shit
Gotta
house.
check the
But these
IDs.
people
You
are,
gotta
I mean,
double check the IDs.
But still, when you have a level of
And I'll say
conversation
this.
with a 16-year-old and you get to talking about things that you should be talking about at a 30-year-old level, and that 16-year-old can't talk about mortgages and APRs and credit scores, then
And I'll say this. I will say this, not to change it. Then I think I had a fascination with somebody older than me because at 16 I didn't have a lot of open doors to having my dating pool be anything but over 30. Because in Indiana, the closet didn't get undone until you were 30. So, and I was very much out of 16. So my dating world, I was comfortable with being me. They were 30. Now they would tell me no legally because they knew the laws, but I had an interest in them. And to me, we were on a date, we were going out, going to the movies. But they were still looking at me like, oh, this little kid. But in my mind, again, I said I was ready. Even though I know
there's a
legally.
hot piece.
Well, no, because we didn't. If they never even crossed the line.
At 30 and you're 16, there's no way they just want to be your friend and take you to the movies and buy you ice cream and cake.
Well, I want you to get that interested.
But you know what I think is really interesting about this, because I work with young men in Houston and I've done this kind of work before, is that oftentimes, and there was this big debate at a conference of brothers in Atlanta of the older men lurking
Right. Okay.
on young boys, and someone brought up the point that I know when I was 19, I wanted to date a 30-year-old.
For sure.
So that there is a mutual sometimes.
Right.
And that's not to say that I think there are inappropriate
Yeah, and I
relationships,
think-
but I don't
and
think we can make sweeping generalizations.
No, we can't
about
make-
cross
And I was, and
generational
again, let me reiterate this so we're clear. The people that I went after had to be older because to me, I was
You
attracted
had
to
no
their
choice.
comfort, and I really had no choice. So again, if you're from Indiana, these laws that they're talking work for people in Atlanta and New York who have an option in the pool. The
No.
gene pool of success, it was probably 4 good ones over 30. I knew all of them and wanted all of them because that's all that was there. And it's probably the same for still sitting in Indiana who are now 60. That it's like that's all you got. So again, we're gonna come back to the couch and we're gonna talk about what age is appropriate.
Yeah, we're going to come back to
Okay,
that.
I'm Egypt Thompson,
Political power, yeah, we got some more
To
stuff.
digress.
Serve your option.
and thank you for watching the couch. Peace.